As HDJ continues, we close out the first hour with a most unusual tag team match, highlighting Afa and Sika, the legendary Wild Samoans, in a non-title match with the Legends TV champs, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot, and with no time limit.
The following non-title tag team match, one fall with no time limit. Introducing first accompanied by manager Captain Lou Albano from the island of Samoa at a combined weight of 623 pounds. Here are Afa and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
The outrageous, outspoken, and obnoxious Captain Lou Albano leading Afa and Sika into battle here against Sergeant the Patriot. Myron, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
It's easy. Albano wanted a title shot for the Samoans. Sergeant the Patriot said, you want one, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to earn it in a tag team match with no time limit. Let's see how long you can go.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 545 pounds, they're the RWL Legends Television Champions, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
A test of stamina and endurance that only a Marine drill instructor could have devised. Pretty sure the no time limit stipulation had to be the brainchild of Sergeant Slaughter.
You got it in one, Wally. They said if you can beat us with no time limit, no matter how long it takes, you've earned the title shot. Well, I'm sure Sergeant the Patriot can handle it. I'm thinking the Samoans can too. We're just gonna have to wait and see who comes out on top after this one.
Since they took the Legends TV tag belts from Jerry Lawler and Harley Race, they've been totally calling the shots, because hey, they can. Still, if they drop this one, then the Samoans are almost guaranteed a title shot. But I don't see anything other than one fact. This one can't, and won't, end in any time limit draw.
Sure won't, Christy. Sika and Sergeant Slaughter starting us off as the bell sounds. Sergeant Slaughter gets a hold of Sika, whips him to the far corner. A running splash from Sergeant Slaughter, followed up with a stomp to the chest. Sika brought out of the corner the hard way by Sergeant Slaughter, followed up with another kick, and here comes the Patriot on the tag. The team already starting to tag early and often as the Patriot makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Oh, here we go. Cross body, and here's a pin. 1, 2, oh, just a 2. But a 2 count that early on could be a sign of things to come. The Patriot rears back, delivers a hard shot to the midsection. Sika whipped to the ropes. Beautifully executed hip toss from the Patriot. The Patriot rounds Sika up to a standing position again, and boom, hauls back with a hard right that takes him down the mat. Oh, a throat chop from Sika as he escorts the Patriot to the Samoans' corner. Here comes Samoan Afa on the tag, and a double team from the Samoans. Oh, double knees to the midsection for the Patriot. Afa gathers him up to a standing position, a throat chop, a right, another throat chop. The Patriot drops again. Afa beating the head of the Patriot against the counter. And here's a shoulder claw. And over the course of time, that will wear you down. The Patriot realizes this, trying to get to a standing position here. Tags him with a hard right to the gut, a hard right to the head. Winds it up, and boom! Whoa, what an uppercut. Down goes Samoan Afa. The Patriot covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Just the 2, a near fall fairly early on. And this no time limit matchup. The Patriot drives a knee into the head of Afa, delivers a kick to the back. Afa back on his feet. The Patriot gets a hold of him by the scruff of the neck, slams his head into his team's corner's turnbuckle. Here comes Sergeant Slaughter on the tag with a kick to the ribs to Samoan Afa. Sarge takes over, headlock takedown. And Sarge squeezing for all he's worth, trying to wear down Afa. Afa shoves him away. Sergeant Slaughter rounds him up again, locks him up. Afa whipped to the ropes. And a beautiful hip toss from the Sarge as well. Captain Lou Albano looking a bit concerned as Sarge rolls an elbow into the back of Samoan Afa. Afa with a sweep of the leg takes the Sarge down, locks him up. Escorts him towards the Samoans' corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes Samoan Sika, and here comes another double team. And once more, double knees to the midsection, this time for Sergeant Slaughter. Sika. Woohoo! Gets the brakes put on by the Sarge. Swings and misses. Sarge rounds him up into an atomic drop, and that's going to hurt his keister. Hard shot to the midsection from Sika. Sika whips the Sarge towards the far corner. A running splash takes Sergeant Slaughter down to the mat. Sika gathers him up. Has him by the throat. This is not going to be good for Sergeant Slaughter. Oh, what a choke slam. A choke slam and a half from Samoan Afa. Afa locks him up. Takes him towards the Samoan's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Sarge. Here comes Sika on the tag. And whoa, look at this. A series of shots. And Sika comes charging, a kick to the face. And a running splash from Afa. Sergeant Slaughter catching punishment from all sides here. An elbow to the leg of Sergeant Slaughter. Sika shoved away by the Sarge, back up on his feet. Gets a hold of him. Sika counters with elbows to the midsection of Sergeant Slaughter. A running charge and a quick takedown. As Samoan Sika gathers him up again. Escorts him towards his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. And here comes Afa. Look at this. Whoa! Boot right to the face. With that bare foot. A stomp to the back. A kick to the leg. Sergeant Slaughter in trouble here. Here's a cover. One. But barely just a one. Afa makes his way all the way up to the top turnbuckle in the far corner. The Patriot trying to put on the brakes here. Succeeds in doing so. Down goes Afa. Sergeant Slaughter still collecting himself. Afa gets a hold of him. Has him up over the shoulders. Oh, this ain't going to be good. Oh, what a nasty slam from Samoan Afa. Sergeant Slaughter with a hot tag to the Patriot. And here he comes. Shoulder tackle. Takes Afa down on the mat. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Afa slams him face down into the canvas by his arm. Gathers the Patriot up again. The Patriot being escorted to the Samoan's corner, slammed into the buckle. And here comes Sika. Again, a series of shots from Afa as Sika charges. A kick to the face and a running splash from Afa before he leaves. Turning it over to Sika for his team. A kick to the leg to the Patriot. Here's another cover. One. And barely just a one. The Patriot finding his way out of that one pretty quickly. Sika rebounds off the rope. A diving headbutt. Oh, the Samoans. Absolutely wild as true. The Patriot whips Sika to the ropes. Hard shot to the midsection. Down goes Sika. The Patriot gouging the face of the Samoan. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, I suppose. Here comes Sergeant Slaughter. Sika rounded up in a front cradle by Sergeant Slaughter. His back driven into the turnbuckle and he spun out towards center ring. Sarge drives a knee into Sika's head. Captain Lou Albano looking a little bit concerned. A driving knee from Sergeant Slaughter to the head of Sika. And Sergeant Slaughter really beginning to go to work. Samoan Sika locks him up. Escorts him towards the corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes the Patriot, and here comes a double team. The Patriot on the middle rope. Double axe handle finds the mark on the arm. Sika locks up the Patriot. Whips him towards the ropes. A head-on collision. And up into a bear hug. And the Patriot being squeezed here. The Patriot driving elbows into the head, and a double ear clap finally backs off the Samoan. There's a running shoulder tackle. The Patriot gathers up Sika again. Locks him up. And there's that hard right one more time. Quickly going for another cover. One. But just barely a one. It's going to take a lot more than that to wear down the wild Samoans. Oh, what a spine buster from the Patriot. The Patriot potentially smelling blood in the water here. Takes him down to the canvas. Sika being set up here into a sharpshooter. And whoa, Alpha breaks it up. Sika back on his feet. Charges, catches a hip toss from the Patriot. Sika rolls out. Tries to roll out. But the Patriot right there to put a stop to it. Winds up the arm. Snaps it. Snapping the left arm of Samoan Sika. The Patriot gathers him up again. Locks him up. Elbows to the midsection. From the wild Samoan to the Patriot. Sika catches the kick from the Patriot. Sika counters with a knee to the midsection. Again escorting the Patriot to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes Alpha. And one more time, we're going to see this one again. A series of shots from Alpha and Sika. A running splash takes the Patriot down to the mat. And Samoan Sika makes his way to the top turnbuckle, waiting for the Patriot to stand himself up. And here we go, double axe handle right across the head of the Patriot. And here's a cover with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. The Patriot quickly getting up that right shoulder. A headbutt from Alpha. Alpha rounds him up again into the bear headbutt. Oh, no you don't. The Patriot collides with Alpha. Kick to the midsection. Alpha being escorted to the opposing team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes the Sarge. And here comes another double team. A kick to the ribs from Sergeant Slaughter. A running clothesline from the Sarge. Gathers Alpha back up again, winds up the arm. Oh, here we go, Cobra clutch time. And this could be it right here. Sergeant Slaughter with the Cobra clutch. Sika there to make the save. Alpha catches a stomp to the back from the Sarge. A kick to the leg. As Sergeant Slaughter makes his way out and turns it over to the Patriot. The Patriot moves in, catches a kick to the head. Gets locked up. Sika whips him over the top rope out onto the floor on the bad side of town. The Patriot quickly taking down Alpha. Winds it up. Oh, hard right takes Sika down. Both Alpha and Sika both laid out. The Patriot winds up the arm on Alpha. Snaps it. Sika laid out from the Patriot's move. The Patriot rolls Alpha back inside the ring. And here he comes, the Patriot, deciding he's had enough. He's going to turn it over to the Sarge on the tag. Alpha locks up the Sarge, whips him to the ropes, back body drop. Alpha with a hard shot to the side of the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Alpha rounds him up again. The Samoan has him up. Oh, what a nasty shot. His back bent like a bow. Alpha locks up the Sarge, got him by the throat, counters with a kick. Sergeant Slaughter charges. The brakes put on by Alpha. A throat chop again. A kick to the midsection from the Sarge. They lock up. Sergeant Slaughter has him up. Whoa! What a nasty spinning slam right there. Cover, but no. Sika right there to break it up. The Patriot moves in and moves right back out again. Sergeant Slaughter gathers up Alpha. Ooh, hard shot. A chop to the throat. Alpha pitches him out center ring hole. This is not going to be good. Off the middle rope. A diving headbutt right into the midsection of Sergeant Slaughter. And now Lou Albano rallying the troops here from ringside. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Sarge. And here comes Sika on the tag. All the way. Oh, what a nasty slam. And here's a pin. Referee Willie Johnson doesn't even get a chance to make the count as the Patriot comes in to break up the pin. A diving headbutt from Sika. And he is definitely fired up. A rebound off the ropes. Misses with another attempt as Sarge gets out of the way. Sergeant Slaughter charges. A knee to the midsection that hardly has any effect at all. Sarge whipped to the ropes. An elbow from Sika takes him down. Sika flips the Sarge over. Winds him up into a leg submission here. Oh, stretching the knees and the ligaments of Sergeant Slaughter. As Lou Albano looks on, Sika back to a standing position before Sergeant Slaughter rounds him up, locks him up, and oh! That Samoan headbutt. Sika with a kick to the leg of the Sarge. Sarge struggling to get to a standing position, but it is no use. Sika with his foot right in the throat of the Sarge. As Alpha cheers on his brother. A kick to the leg. And here comes Alpha again on the tag. Sergeant Slaughter in some serious pain at this point. Counters with a hard shot to the midsection. Locks up Alpha. Escorts him towards his team's corner. Slams his head into the turnbuckle. Quick counter, but a cheap shot from the Patriot. Sergeant Slaughter going to take advantage of that. Slams his head back into the turnbuckle again. Tags in the Patriot, and off here we go. From the middle rope, another double axe handle across the arm from the Patriot. Hard right, spins off around. And look at this, a trap squeeze. Blocking the flow of blood to the brain. And Samoan Alpha sinking fast here. Down he goes. The Patriot covers, hooks the leg, but a little too close to the Samoan's corner for Sika to break up the pin. The Patriot stalking Alpha, takes him down, sets it up again. He's going for the sharpshooter a second time here. But again, probably too close to this. Oh, look at this. Alpha powering out of the submission. That tip power of, whoa, what a heel kick. As Sika comes in on the tag. The Patriot stands center ring waiting for him. Charges. Ooh, kitchen sink knee to the gut. Sika gathered up by the Patriot. A driving knee right into the head of Sika. Off gouge of the face. Oh, the Patriot knows what he's got to do here. Clubbing blow to the chest. Takes Sika down again. The Patriot, firmly in control at the present time, takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Here we go, diving elbow across the chest of Samoan Sika, struggling to get to a standing position. The Patriot slams his face into the canvas again. The Patriot winds up the arm and snaps it. The Patriot wisely keeping the Samoan on his side of the ring. Close to Sergeant Slaughter, a kick to the back. The Patriot moves back in. Gathers Sika up, locks him up. Hard right to the face, and down he goes. The Patriot gathers him up one more time here. Takes him to the corner, smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Sergeant Slaughter comes in on the tag. And another tag kick to the ribs as Sergeant Slaughter takes control for his team. Locks up. Samoan Sika slams this back into the turnbuckle, tosses him towards the middle of the ring. Here comes the Patriot again, the team working very efficiently. The Legends TV Tag Champions firmly in control here, but here comes a hot tag to Samoan Alpha. Charges, whoa, vicious takedown from Samoan Alpha. The Patriot gathered back up again, locked up into a front cradle, escorted towards the ropes. He's got him up, hangs him up on the top rope by his throat. Samoan Alpha with a vicious headbutt. Takes the Patriot down to the mat again as Alpha slowly makes his way to the top turnbuckle. And here's a diving headbutt. Oh, and here's a cover. This could be bad. One. Only just the one. The Patriot quickly getting that shoulder up. A charge from the Samoan, but no good. Quickly taken down by the Patriot as he steps out and tags in the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter moves in, misses with his charge, gets caught from behind. Alpha whips him to the far corner. Sergeant Slaughter looking a little bit fatigued here. Gets out of the corner, locks up. Alpha whip to the corner. A running splash takes him down. And here's an assisted alley-oop out of the corner from Sergeant Slaughter. Misses with the stomp. Alpha gets a hold of him. Has him, but whoa, he is just strangling Sergeant Slaughter. He just throttled him. I mean, absolutely throttled him. Sarge counters with an elbow. A running shoulder takes Alpha down to the mat. Sergeant Slaughter drags the Samoan towards center ring. Follows up with a stomp to the midsection. Alpha slips through the backboard, delivers a kick to the knee and a running drop kick that doesn't connect, but a clothesline to the back of the head from Sarge certainly does. Sergeant Slaughter rallying the fans here in Phoenix. A charge. Sergeant Slaughter wants it up. Boom. Oh, man, what a shot. Sika Rounded up by Sergeant Slaughter, counters with a knee. Sika locks him up, has him up over the shoulders, and there's the Samoan drop. Sergeant Slaughter out there on the apron, slowly making his way back to a standing position. Sika nails him with a right and out to the floor. He goes, he's going to turn his attention to the Patriot. Tags him with a hard right. Another. And brings him into the ring the hard way as Samoan Aho rounds up Sergeant Slaughter. Gets him back inside the ring. The Patriot laid out as Sika makes his way to the top turnbuckle, and here's the diving headbutt on the Patriot. Sergeant Slaughter, the legal man in the ring, locks up. Sika's got him up. And oh, what a nasty one-arm slam. The Patriot beating it out of town. Sika with another Samoan drop on Sergeant Slaughter to the delight of Captain Lou Albano. Here's a cover, but the Patriot right there to break it up before even the count of one. Sika gathers up Sarge. Sarge with a quick uppercut surprises the Samoan. Escorts him towards the corner. Smashes his head into the buckle. Here comes the Patriot again. The Legends TV Tag Champs, a well-oiled machine here. Up over a back body drop for Sika as the Patriot assumes command of this matchup. Takes himself outside, however briefly, for whatever reason. Brings himself back inside. Rounds up Sika, delivers a kick to the leg. The Patriot gathers the Samoan up again. Locks him up. Escorts him towards his team's corner one more time. Another smash into the turnbuckle as Sergeant Slaughter is tagged in again. The Samoan going for a ride here. Another back body drop as Sergeant Slaughter takes over for his team. Sarge moves in, catches a hard shot to the midsection. Gets locked up. Whip to the rope. Oh, what a nasty spinning elbow to the face of the Sergeant. Oh. Sika escorts Sarge to the Samoan corner. And here comes Alpha on the tag. Uh-oh. A foot right in the face of Sergeant Slaughter. The Samoan rebounds off the ropes. Diving headbutt. Bizarre. Samoan Alpha drives a knee into the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge in big time trouble here as the Samoan makes his way to the pool. The Patriot saving the day here. Shoves him off the top turnbuckle. Sarge spins him around with a right. Winds him up. Cobra clutch again. Sarge has got the Cobra clutch locked in center ring. Alpha tagging out. This is it. It is all over. Sarge and the Patriot winning this no time limit match by submission.
The time of the fall, 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Your winners, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
Guess Sergeant Slaughter knew what he was doing. And that really was a battle of endurance. Tons of near falls for both sides, and yeah, Alpha and Sika did manage to do some damage. Sarge's face tells that story, but they couldn't get the job done in the end, and I'm thinking old Sarge knew it all the time. He and the Patriot may not have cruised to a win, but it's still all theirs. Wow. Terrific match, even without the belts being up for grabs.
Most definitely true, Christy. Well, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot picking up a win over the Samoans in a no-time limit tag team match. That concludes the first hour of Hotter Than July. We'll be back with the second hour right after this brief intermission.